So you probably know, you should know that there is a mediation that's been ordered from Judge Chupp with the parties to try to work this out. Even asked Jamie Markey to be a part of this mediation as well, even though she's been dismissed. Chupp was talking a lot about potential appeals. That's something that we've been talking about. You know, first there's the motions to reconsider, and then the potential appeals, appellate courts, etc., etc. What we're going to go over today in this video is the actual document, the mediation order hearing, the transcript of such. It's pretty telling. I'm going to read it for you, and if you'd like a copy, you're more than welcome to join Discord. The link is active again, so that's all good, and you should be able to join nice and easy. There were some people saying that the Discord was taken down. That's absolutely not the case. About 4,000 people in there can attest the Discord was never taken down. We just had some weirdos joining for malicious reasons, so I took the link away temporarily. It's all good now. Anyways, let's get into the important stuff here. You can join Discord if you want that doc, and I'm going to read it for you right now anyways. So the proceedings from Tuesday, September 17th, 1:30 p.m., of course, in Texas. Judge Chupp states, I have handed all counsel off record some documents that were sent to me by the Sheriff's Department. And like I said, I want y'all to be aware that this is out there, if you're not aware of it. I don't know if there is any potential threats to you as lawyers or your clients, but I think you need to be aware of it. I think there is a community out there, obviously, that is interested in this case. I think it might be, this isn't a TV show. This is real life stuff. This is not an anime cartoon or something like that, and I don't know if people can distinguish between the two. So what I'm trying to say is I think y'all may owe a duty to this community, since y'all's clients are a part of it, to try and get this case worked out. Is anybody opposed to trying to get this case worked out? Y'all can speak. She's typing. Mr. Beard states, no, Your Honor. And let's stop there for a moment. So clearly, I think, hopefully people can indeed distinguish between anime and real life. I've been a part of I Stand With Vic for 9 months or so, and I can confidently say, in my humble opinion, I think the majority of people on I Stand With Vic can at least distinguish between the two. Kick Vic? I don't know. I'm not going to try and assume what their logic is. I'm not even going to assume that they even use logic anymore at this point, and that's been the case for quite a while. Continuing on, transcript reads, let's see here. Judge Chupp, okay, there is a lawyer in town that handles some mediations that are a little more sensitive and deal with other issues other than just legal issues. I think this case deals with things other than legal issues, obviously, because people are invested in it for some reason. His name is, I'm not going to state his name in this video, but he gives the name there of that apparent lawyer and mediator. So he has a mediator in mind, and of course, the potential issue there is any sort of conflict of interest. If they're friends or something like that, it could be a little weird. But maybe that's not the case. Maybe this is just a guy that he's used before for mediations for sensitive issues or things like that. As Chupp puts it himself, I think this case deals with things other than legal issues, obviously, because people are invested in it for some reason. Continuing on. So I'm going to order you to go see him. Again, the name's there. I'm not going to say it. I'll give you the information. And you need to do it before October 3rd, because I still have to rule on the rest of the motions by October 6th, I believe, or 5th. The 3rd is a Thursday, so that will allow me to rule on Friday if y'all don't get this worked out. Is everybody still here? I don't remember who represents who. Who do you represent? Mr. Lemoyne says, Montreal and Rontoy. Chupp says, and you are? Mr. Volney then says, excuse me, actually, it's not scrolling. Volney says, I'm Funimation, Your Honor. Chupp says, you're Funimation, okay. Mr. Johnson says, I'm Jamie Markey, Your Honor. Chupp says, and you're Jamie Markey. Okay, so y'all need to call, again, the name, the lawyer, set up something with him. Where are your offices? Mr. Volney says, I'm in Dallas. He's in Plano. Mr. Johnson says, yes, Plano. Chupp says, okay, he might drive somewhere. I don't know, because y'all are coming from Tyler, right? Ty Beard says, yes, sir. Let's pause there for a moment and kind of back step a little bit. It's just interesting that Chupp is taking this approach now, right? It's interesting that he ruled so quickly on some of these issues at the hearing, at least according to what we were told, and according to the transcripts. It looks like some of that stuff he ruled quite quickly on. So it's interesting to me that he is really waiting until the last second, so to speak, to rule on the rest of this and wants them to try to mediate. if Chupp was 100% going to rule against the plaintiff, against Vic and his counsel, Ty Beard, Harris, Bullock, and Hughes, why would he order mediation? It just doesn't make sense, really. I guess the only possible explanation is that if he's going to rule against Vic, he's worried about the backlash from the community, maybe. So he'd rather have this mediated so he doesn't have to make a final ruling on that. I'm not sure how that would work exactly. Like, if this TCPA hearing is pending on some things that the judge has to rule on, but the rest of it gets mediated, I don't know how that works. I'm going to assume it would get dropped. Maybe not just like dropped, but there would be some closure there that would state like the parties mediated this out and there's no reason for me to rule on the rest. The litigation has been dropped or dismissed or whatever. That's probably how it would go down, but I don't know for sure. Regardless, it's interesting that Chupp is inclined to have them mediate and not just dismiss the rest of the claims. And again, he's waiting until the last second now, it seems, when he was so quick before. So that's just some things to consider. Let's continue on, though. So Chupp says, okay, he might meet y'all somewhere in Dallas. I don't know. If that makes it easier on you, you might ask him that. His address is not on here, but he's around that area. I'm not going to say that area. Just don't want to get too specific here. So here's an order. If you want to each get a copy, come on up. But again, just make sure your clients are aware that this stuff is going on, and I don't want them to get hurt, or you guys too, either, obviously. So just be aware of your surroundings. It seems like Chupp took the weird stuff that was going on from people. They were making claims against Chupp and stuff like that. Who knows if they were kick Vic or I stand with Vic? I don't know. But it looks like he kind of took that seriously. I mean, he got the sheriffs involved, and I think he said sheriff, right? I don't think it was just regular PD. Anyways, so it is interesting how that all occurred, and now Chupp is interested in the community and, saying there's issues besides legal issues here. Kind of curious. Chupp continues. So just be aware of your surroundings. This includes... Oh, excuse me, actually. I missed something. Mr. Johnson then says, and your honor, if I may, this includes Jamie Markey. The court ruled to dismiss all of the claims against her. I just want to make sure that Chupp cuts him off there. Says, I think she should show up because there's no guarantee you're not going to be back here in 3 months on an appeal. Whoa. One more time. Jamie Markey's attorney says, and your honor, if I may, this includes Jamie Markey? The court ruled to dismiss all of the claims against her. I just want to make sure that, Chupp says, I think you should show up because there's no guarantee you're not going to be back here in 3 months on an appeal. So Chupp is already thinking about the appeals, and I've already read most of this document, not all of it. I was pretty tired last night when I saw this, so I did not continue it last night. But he does bring up appeals quite often, so definitely stay tuned. It's going to keep getting good. Let's continue. Mr. Johnson says, I agree. The reason I asked, I have a vacation letter for next week on file. So just that was why I was asking. Chupp responds, well, somebody with settlement authority is all I'm asking for. So what law firm are you with? Johnson replies, I have my own firm, Your Honor. Chupp says, oh, you do? Okay. Johnson says, yes, but I have other counsel that works for us. Chupp says, based upon her standing in the case, she may be in a better position than some, but I think if it happens to work out, you can do it by phone. I don't care. She's been dismissed, and he still puts it in such an uncertain way. It's quite telling. Based upon her standing in the case, she may be in a better position than some. So I think Chupp is really thinking about these appeals here, guys. It's to say she may be in a better position, not even a definitive she's in a better position. That is a very interesting way of putting it. Mr. Johnson replies, okay. Chupp says, if you need to, or have somebody else there to be available or something. Johnson says, and I'll be back before the 3rd. Chupp says, see what y'all can work out. Johnson says, yes, sir. Chupp, there's no telling what the appellate court is going to do. One more time. Chupp says, there's no telling what the appellate court is going to do. Again, he's bringing up the appeals. He's bringing up the appellate court now. What's going on here? Mr. Johnson says, right. Chupp says, I rule on stuff, and sometimes they side with me, and sometimes they don't. And that's just the way it goes. I don't take it personally. That's just they may have different feelings on stuff. But before I rule on the rest of it, I would rather you try to get this worked out. I think you all have the opportunity to heal the community by doing something that y'all can all agree on, as opposed to having me do something and then y'all having to appeal it and go through all that process and it just comes back here again. I mean, this could go on years. I'd rather just obviously see the community of anime get healed and move on and do what you need to do. So that's all I needed. I just wanted to tell y'all in person because I thought it was rather serious with regards to, and I don't know what all is out there. That's just what I want. That's just what I given. And so there could be much more than that. I don't know, but just watch your back. Mr. Bullock replies, "Thank you, Judge." Interesting, he was there. Mr. Volney says, "Thank you." And the court, all right. Y'all have a good day. Okay, that's the transcript. But let's go back to that last part a little bit there, where Chupp says, "I rule on stuff, and sometimes they side with me, and sometimes they don't, and that's just the way it goes. I don't take it personally. That's just they may have different feelings on stuff." It's, I don't know how to feel here entirely, guys. On one hand, I feel like I want to ask myself and you guys and Chupp, if I could, do you really care about the anime community, or are you just kind of trying to defend yourself from the rulings that you've already made? Does he really care about the anime community healing? To be fair, he might. He really might. I don't think he knows too much about anime. That's just the vibe I get. I mean, previously he had said, like, anime cartoons, right? So I don't think he knows too much about anime. But maybe he knows there's a large group of people here that really care about what's going on. Maybe he realizes that this case is indeed, bigger than he thought. I don't know, guys. But it's very interesting to me that he's making this attempt now to heal the community or get them to, settle, mediate, so that this won't go on for more months and years, appeals, costs, all that stuff. Maybe he sincerely cares. But what is telling in and of itself, besides that, is how often throughout this transcript he brings up appeals in the appellate court. Even asks Markey to go, as we already discussed. So, we don't know what is certainly going to go down here, but I'm inclined to say, and I am biased, but I'm inclined to say this is better for Vic than not. I mean, easily Chupp, if Chupp wanted to, he could have ruled all against Vic. This could have been done already. We had the hearing. He could have finished ruling on that stuff. They didn't need to mediate. He didn't need to wait. He's waiting until like the last second now to get that in, just about. It's interesting stuff, guys. It really is. That's where we are at. Again, if you want a copy of this document, feel free to join the Discord. The link is in the description. Gonna wrap this one up now, my friends. There's a lot of work to do today. I found something very suspicious about Rooster Teeth, and I know we've covered a lot of Rooster Teeth, but this is something new, very suspicious as well. Actually, there's a few suspicious things I've seen that I want to get to work on regarding that. And also, another anime I haven't covered, a topic regarding that. It might have something to do with a cat girl. There you go. So those are some hints for what's to come, but I'm going to wrap this up. No outro or anything like that. A lot of work to do. I'm going to get started on the next one right away. Thank you for your understanding. I'll have shout-outs in the next video, and I'll see you in a few hours